guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Sutton. I'm an indie author of 5 young adult romance books. They're all linked down below and they range from fake relationships to friends to lovers to opposites attract, all that fun stuff. So if you want to check them out, linked down below. Welcome back to my channel. I don't look like my usual self today. Usually for these kinds of videos, I am a little bit more dolled up, but I wanted to kind of keep this a little bit more low-key and relaxed today as I talk about how I did a challenge of writing a novel in 16 days. Yeah, I'm just gonna dive into it. If you guys want to like this video, it really does help out my channel and it introduces this channel to new writers out there. So without further ado, let's hop in. So if you guys don't follow me on TikTok or on Instagram, you might not have known that I was doing this challenge. I documented it the most on TikTok. I actually did a little TikTok video about it every single day, updating my progress. And Instagram, I did it when I remembered to. It's a little bit easier to post every day on TikTok rather than posting every day on Instagram for the reels. Yeah, I posted my progress every single day on TikTok, but if you guys missed that, we're gonna go over the stats a little bit together and talk about what worked, what didn't work, and things like that. I've attempted this challenge before back in March. And then I did kind of variation of it when I did my finish a novel in May when I was finishing up final edits for Two Kinds of Us. I was feeling pretty good going into this when I started on June 5th because I felt like I've done it twice. You know, I feel pretty good about being able to keep myself on track. I don't know what I was thinking. I started this challenge on June 5th and Two Kinds of Us released on June 9th. So that was like 4 days before the release that I was doing a lot of like planning and prep work. So I don't know what I was thinking doing this challenge. If I were to write 16 days, the challenge did start on June 5th and it ended on June 20th. And every single day I needed to have 3,125 words to be on par for the day. So that's a lot of words to write even when you're not launching a book. I also work part-time as a housekeeper, so on the days where I work, it's really hard for me to be creative. And I also have freelance. I beta read novels freelance, and that takes up a lot of my time too. So June was a very busy month. It was a very bad month to do this challenge. I should have done it in like the latter half of June. I should have planned ahead, but I didn't. So on June 5th, I got 0 words. I literally started off the challenge with no words. It's fine. I'm doing this as a running total as well, so I didn't keep track of how many words I wrote in the day, but I'm keeping track of the running total. Then on June 6th, I got 1,187 words, which is not where I needed to be at all. And then for 3 days in a row, my word count stayed the same. I hit 3,166, and then it was like that for the next 2 days because I did not write anything because that was the 2 days prior to release day, and then it was release day. I got no writing done on this work in progress during those days. And even when I got back to it, I only got to 5,803. Then for the next 2 days, I was stuck at 6,725. So this story was really fun to write, but it was harder for me to jump into at first to really get to know my characters. I don't know if I ever made my 3,125 words in a day quota. I don't think I ever hit that. June 12th, I was supposed to be at 25,000 words, which is halfway. I was at 6,725. Not quite on par. We finished out the entire challenge on June 20th when I was supposed to have 50,000 words at 18,561. And it's actually kind of funny as I am finishing up this draft. Right now I'm at 23,000 words. This draft is severely underwritten. I think I'll maybe top it out at 30,000. And it's, to me, right now I can see, guys, it's so boring. It is such a boring first draft. I'm so bored. I loved the idea in my head way more than how it translated on paper. And I don't think it's because of the challenge. I don't think the challenge hinders my writing, even though I am kind of pushing myself to write faster. I do think the challenge actually helps me keep on track, but I think it's just how stressed I was during this month, and it kind of just translated onto the piece of paper or, the laptop. So I think going back into draft 2 will be a much more interesting experience, I think, because that's when the that's when the story is going to start to evolve a bit more. And I think this is just me kind of getting to know the story and laying down the groundwork, and when I come back to it, it's going to be so much better, I think. I hope. It was really fun to document this challenge because, like, trying to write 3,000 words in a day, I had done that before, with my book back in March, and that was so much fun, and I was like, oh man, I think I can do it this time again, and it just didn't work out. I do think the season that you're in really does affect your word count. I want to say I am a fast writer. I am a fast typer. My brain works at a mile a minute. Even though I didn't hit 50K in 16 days, honestly, that was, I feel like maybe it might have been a one-time thing when I did it back in March. But 18,000 in 16 days is so cool too. I'm so excited about it. It was a massive step forward into this project. I was actually really nervous to start this project going into it. I wanted to, but I also didn't want to at the same time. Do you know when you have that idea in your head and you're like, oh, such a good idea, and you're so afraid to like attempt it because you don't want to like not do it justice? That was definitely me going into this story. I keep saying short story. It's not a short story. Going into this story, but so I'm glad I did this challenge because I do think it like helps me jumpstart and get into the story itself and learn the characters and know what I need to tweak for the next draft. 16 days, 18,561 words. I do think setting a challenge for yourself, as personal as it can be for you, is a really fun thing to do. I know 3,000 words in a day is a lot of words. I do think my lifestyle is a lot busier than it was in March, so I'm not sure 3,000 words a day is gonna cut it for me anymore. But I do know for a lot of lifestyles that just doesn't work at all. But if you can find like a number that's a little bit outside of your comfort zone, but you still think you can do it, I definitely recommend trying this challenge out or trying a month version of this challenge and sharing it with me. I already have a ton of people on TikTok saying that they want to try this challenge, and I cannot wait to see all the progress. For me, it was just so fun to have a challenge and push myself every day. Although the days where I stagnated, I stressed. I think it's really fun to keep track of my progress on the internet because I do think it keeps me accountable and it keeps me on track, Even though there were days where I got 0 words, I did strive to do better the next day, or, try to, because I knew people were interested in seeing the updates, and it just kind of energized me to push forward and keep writing. Kind of kept my creativity constantly bubbling inside of me. Do you know what I mean? So thank you to everybody who was supportive of me during this challenge, who gave me kind words of encouragement. On TikTok, it was flooded with people who were like, you've got this, and I'm like, I don't think that I do, but I really appreciate you saying it. Sometimes stories just come better than others, come faster, come smoother. Do you know what I mean? And for this book, the book I did in March came way smoother. More smooth. The book I did in March came way smoother than this one. I think that's evident because I was able to finish, and the plot flow just kind of really helped me out. Something I did in preparation for this challenge was outline the entire book, and I don't ever do that. If you know me, my entire writing journey, I have been a pantser. So it was really interesting to sit down and outline, and I want to do an outlining video where I talk a bit more about what my process is like nowadays. I did an outline video last year, but that was back when I wasn't really an outliner, and I only used those outlines in case I felt like outlining. So I do think my outlining has evolved since then. So I do want to do an updated outlining routine and a writing routine. I want to do that too. But I did outline for this book. So what I did is I actually kind of Let me find the page. Can't show you because spoilers, but I wrote down the cast of the story, and I also did like a kind of working blurb. I've never done that before. I've never done the blurb first. So I did that for this one, and it kind of helped me gauge where I needed to go. And I also just kind of loosely outlined my thoughts. So I kind of like brain dumped. So I have little lines like, her best friend is Taylor, Mimi loves this guy, you know. One little sister, 3 years younger, freshman, sophomore, you know, and I have both parents are together. And I also did a loose Save the Cat outline, as well as my own little outline that I found online, but I cannot figure out where. And then I outlined every single chapter. So chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and my paragraphs were about this big. So not too in-depth, but not too basic either. And when I got to those chapters, it really, really did help me kind of know where I needed to go in that story in that moment. Yes, the story is underwritten, so I'm gonna have to go back in and add some more stuff, but I do think it was an awesome way to help me jumpstart into this challenge and really start off on the right foot mindset wise, because I knew where I was going, I knew where I wanted to go. I just had to get myself there. But that's okay. I still took it lightly. It wasn't by any means anything that was like, I have to do this. Obviously, that's why I only hit 18K. Only 18K. 18K is great, but that was my progress from a write a novel from June 5th to June 20th. I did not write a novel. I wrote 18,000 words of a novel. Honestly, this isn't even going to be a novel. It's going to be a novella. I'm going to have to bulk it up in drafts too. I've never been an underwriter, so it's kind of interesting to see that this is the case for me this time. Let me know down below, are you an underwriter or an overwriter, or are you like pretty spot on every single time? I think I'm pretty spot on every single time. I think my drafts tend to stay the same, actually. So I want to know, let me know down below. And thank you guys for watching this video. I know this is really laid back. My hair is just not done. I took a shower and it air dried. I don't know, I just want it to be kind of be a little bit more laid back. And I guess have dogs barking in the background. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Sarah Sutton. I have 5 young adult romance books out. I post videos hopefully like twice a week. I'm also doing live streams this month and also for next month for Camp NaNoWriMo. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.